I'm going to be teaching or helping you guys with the cat show project area. And so this fair year, it would be my 7th time showing cats, or I'm going to be showing cats for my 7th time during 4-H. And so my cats are outside cats, so they're obviously not going to be the prettiest looking, but you can always brush them. So I have a brush and I will always brush them on the way to the show, or right when I get there before they actually will be presented to the judges. And also, you are going to want a harness and a leash, just in case, let's say your cat is scared and it might run. So you always are going to want this leash, because that way they won't get away and you won't lose them. So a harness, she has a harness on. And obviously before the show, if they've never worn a harness, you're going to want to try it on them a couple times, just so they know what you're doing. And so it's easier to put it on, just so not the show day you're struggling and they run away, let's say, from you because they don't know what you're doing. So that is another thing that you're going to want to do. And also, you're going to want a carrier. So you're not going to want to have just your cat and leash and harness, because the show, depending on how many people, it takes a long time. You're not going to want to hold them or just let them wander the whole time. You're going to want to put them in a cage, and that way it's just safe from everyone else and won't harm anyone, even though it probably won't, but just a precaution. One thing that I do, since my cats are outside, I usually will take 3 to the vet. That way, the day of the show, you can only show 2, but that way the day of the show, let's say one of them isn't there, then I take the other 2. But if all 3 are there, then I just choose the 2 that I want to take and show, that maybe look the best or something like that. So I always take 3 to the vet, and when I take them to the vet, they need their rabies vaccine, distemper shot, and wormer. Those are 3 things they absolutely need to have done in order to show. And also, then let's say only 2's gone, then I at least have 1 that has its shots and ready. So 3 of them will already have all 3 things done. And that way, since they're outside, then it's a lot easier for me to know, and then I can show them, but you can only show 2. So you have to make sure, let's say you do have outside cats. If you have a lot, you have to choose which ones are usually around the most, and that you will be able to pick and get all 3 things done: rabies, distemper, and wormer, all done. And on all 3, let's say, or 2. So that way when it comes to the show, then you have at least 3 or 2 cats, or even 1, that have those all done. And when you are signing up, you have to put in your cat's name, your cat's names, but you can only put in 3. So you have at a time, but you can only show 2. So they kind of give you that leeway in case you are outside, you do have outside cats, but you can only show 2. Now, when it gets to actually showing your cat, you're going to want to know at least the 3 things you gave them: rabies, distemper, and wormer. So for a beginner, they just kind of want to know what you feed them, if you how much you feed them. So for mine, I would say I feed them a cup of food, let's say, and I give them fresh water morning and night, you could say, and just kind of they just want to know what you all know about your cat. And then once you get into intermediate, they're looking for how much wormer you gave them, or maybe what is rabies, what's the point of it, or what is distemper, what's the point of that, what's the point of wormer, why do we give our cat wormer? And then you kind of might explain a little. It doesn't have to be perfect example, but you want to give some example. And then also for beginner and intermediate, you really want to emphasize why you brought your cat to the fair. So what's so good about them than, let's say, any other cat you might have. And you might not have another cat, but Like, why are they so special to you that you didn't choose another cat, let's say. So, and then for advanced, I would say, you're going to want to know why you gave them wormer, exactly why. Rabies, exactly why you gave them a rabies shot. Distemper, why you gave them a distemper shot. Those three things, what it actually does for your cat and help, like even with the rabies, like why you should give them rabies, because let's say they could hurt someone if they bit them, and then that person could have rabies. So that for advanced, you really want to get more explanation and know why you give them those things. And also you should be the one talking. The judge should be kind of just listening on how well you know your cat. So you don't want to just sit there and wait for the judge to ask you questions. You're just going to kind of want to ramble on why you like your cat and just keep going on and on and on about what's so good about your cat. And then at the end, you say like, oh, do you have any questions or anything else you would like me to add maybe? You just kind of like keep going. So then they know like, wow, she really knows, or she or he really knows a lot about their cat. And then maybe you'll place higher, because the more you know about your cat and how well you explain it to the judge, the better you will do all around. And it will probably put you higher up in the placings. And I guess that's kind of what we all want. So that will really help you.
Also, one last thing for the cat show is you're gonna want a towel or a blanket. It doesn't need to be huge, but at least good size to like wrap your cat in it maybe. If it gets scared, and then you can like calm it. Or when you get up to the judge's table, you're gonna want to lay it out and just set your cat on it. So that way it's not like, let's say one cat does have a disease, it's not like spreading disease or anything. You have your own towel. And you don't have to worry about your cat maybe getting that disease, which hopefully no cats do, but it's just like kind of a precaution. So you're gonna want to bring a towel or a blanket, something to wrap your cat in, and with like but you also are gonna want your harness and leash and carrier with you too. It's just like another thing. And you're also gonna want your showing number, which is your number on your back that you use for like anything you're showing, I guess.
And last thing to add with the cat show is to just make sure you have your rabies certificate and make sure you have the wormer and distemper done and bring those, and your cat form on about your cat. So you just want to make sure you have those things along with the carrier once again, the harness, leash once again, and the towel. And those are just like extra things. And remember, you can only show 2, but you can sign up for 3 just in case, but you can only bring 2 and show 2, just as another reminder. And thanks, and I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, let me know.